Here's something most coaches don't understand. The more perfectly you show up, the less safe your client feels. I know that sounds backwards. We're taught that professionalism means having it all together. But perfection is intimidating. It sends a message, whether you intend it or not, that mistakes aren't welcome here. And if your client can't make mistakes with you, they can't access the vulnerability they need for real growth. Let's unpack this perfection paradox. When you show up as flawlessly put together, your client actually feels less safe being themselves. They sense it. They start wondering if they measure up. And then there are the silent messages. Perfection unconsciously communicates that this space doesn't have room for mess or uncertainty. But here's the thing about learning. It requires risk. If clients can't stumble with you, if they can't try things and fail, they can't access the vulnerability that growth demands. ICF Marker 4.06 puts it this way. Demonstrates openness and transparency as a way to display vulnerability and build trust with the client. Notice what this marker explicitly recognizes. Your vulnerability is a professional tool. This isn't about being sloppy or unprepared. It's about strategic authenticity. ICF is saying that your willingness to be transparent, to be human, is how you build the trust that makes transformation possible. Here's what's really happening when you show up authentically. Human behavior is contagious. If you're authentic, your client can be authentic. If you're defended and guarded, they'll be defended and guarded right back. You're modeling what's possible in this relationship. Your presence defines what's acceptable in this space. When you demonstrate that imperfection is welcome, that realness is valued over performance, you create permission for them to show up the same way. Let me show you how the perfection trap actually works. When you perform competence, when your client senses that you're putting on a show, they respond in kind. They start performing capability. They show you only what they think you want to see. They present their most together self, carefully editing out all the messy parts. And here's the problem. The polished version is not where transformation happens. Real change requires accessing the unpolished truth. The breakthrough insights live in the parts they're hiding. When your client sees you as human, that helps them to be human also. Your authenticity grants permission for theirs. But if you are always in there like, I am perfect, then your client will feel like they have to be perfect also. And the reality is there are no perfect humans. The standard you set for yourself becomes their ceiling. If you're performing perfection, you're asking them to perform perfection. And that breaks the fundamental trust that growth requires. Now, I want to be clear about what this means and what it doesn't. This is a real relationship. You genuinely care about this person's growth. The connection is authentic, not manufactured. Your presence is human, not a performance. And it's bounded. This isn't friendship. It maintains professional structure. This isn't therapy. It stays focused on their goals. It's realness within an appropriate container. Authentic connection and professional boundaries, you need both for effective coaching partnership. Let me name the traps to avoid. Going too far, making sessions about you, oversharing your personal problems, turning client issues into your own therapy moments. That's not vulnerability, that's boundary violation. Or the opposite extreme, staying so clinically distant that genuine human connection never forms. Being so professionally detached that your client can't actually feel your presence. And confusing vulnerability with dumping, sharing your struggles in ways that burden the client or shift focus away from their work. The sweet spot, authentically human while maintaining clear boundaries that keep attention on the client's growth. Your humanity gives permission for their humanity. This is how safety deepens. And this is a skill you're developing, not just a personality trait. We've covered a lot of ground in this module. Understanding their world, acknowledging their strengths, holding space for emotion, being human ourselves. Let's bring it all together and look at where this foundation takes you next.